Good morning, guys. It is 2 a.m. and it is the beginning of a very important day for us because today we are basically moving to Canada. So we have all of our things ready, I guess, I hope. So we have these two bags. We have one more suitcase, and this is a carry-on, and this is a carry-on. So we got two laptops, cameras, tripods, clothes. Like that entire suitcase is all just stuff for Evita. Yeah, and I have like a winter coat that I'm gonna just carry on with me, I think, because it's gonna start to get a bit chilly before we come back to Russia. We have return tickets already for December 28th, so yeah. Exciting. That's the airport. We're getting so close. It seems so huge. So this is it. We are in one of the many airports in Moscow called Domodedovo, and we are about to head off to Frankfurt. So we go Frankfurt, Montreal, Halifax. Well, Moscow, Frankfurt, Montreal, Halifax. So we have 2 layovers. Is that right? 2 layovers. 3 planes. 4 cities. Evita seems to be pretty happy to go. I don't know. It's almost 5 in the morning, but she seems okay. She seems a bit concerned about the camera. What's that big black thing? The shadows look really weird on the camera. Got shadows on your face. Ooh. Cute girl. Cute little girl. This time they gave us a seat belt for Evita. It just straps onto Mom's seat belt, and this way she won't fly around if we get turbulence. How you doing?
Great, except I feel very tired and I want to sleep.
You didn't sleep at all, I don't think. So we're in the Frankfurt airport, but all the line was moving through to security, and then it just stopped. And there's lots of police, and they're just saying wait and move back. I guess there's an unattended bag. So we're just waiting, hanging out here. Evita, we step back a little bit further just to be safe. We'll see what happens.
So it's 10 minutes till, I don't know, landing?
We start descending.
Yeah. It is really nice to travel in a business class, really nice, so many benefits. And Evita is doing a great job. We are here, and we are going to Montreal, and then to Halifax. So far our second plane, 8 hours second plane. Before was 3 hours and a half, and third flight will be maybe 1 hour and a half. Что это такое?
So where do we start? I don't know. I don't think we fully explained what happened in Frankfurt. I think we only had an hour and a half, and there was an unattended bag. So we waited for like an hour just to get through security, and we only had an hour and a half. Anyway, we made it to the flight on time, but we were like one of the last ones, and they said that since we were late, I think we need to wait. Since we were late, they said that they gave up our seats, so they wanted to seat us separately, and we're like, wait a second, we're gonna fly for almost 8 hours. We don't want to be separate. There was like a little sort of like argument because we were like the last ones, and everybody was basically waiting for us. There was a couple other people, I think, but we were like, no, we don't want to sit separately. And they were like, well, ask on the plane and maybe they will help. And I was like, wait, maybe? Like, we want to sit together for 8 hours. Anyway, eventually there was one very nice woman who took things into her own hands. I was like, you know, it's not a problem. And then she just went onto the plane with us and she sorted everything out. And in the end, we actually ended up sitting in business class, I believe. There's like one that was better, I guess, first class, and then I think we're in business class. It was quite nice. The seats are much wider. You can lean back further, and I don't know. It was cool. The screen is bigger. It was very. We were lucky that we were there. We had economy class food because we didn't book this business class seats, but that was fine. The food was, even economy food was pretty good, I would say. And some of the food was the same anyway. So anyway,
it was our first business class.
Yeah, it was our first time ever in business class. So that was very cool.
And also lots of space between your legs.
Lots of leg room. Yeah,
it was
definitely.
Really nice. And I was able to sleep, and Evita was able to sleep.
And they were like always first to get food, and yeah.
And they have really nice restroom in this area, like with a cream.
Yeah, there's a window in the bathroom. I don't think I've ever seen it in a plane, which is really cool. I went to the bathroom. I think I only went once, but I could see, we were already flying over, I think, Newfoundland, and you could see all the lakes and rivers, and it was really, really cool.
I'm so tired.
Anyway, we were very tired, but we made it to Montreal, and everything's okay. I don't know, there's like lots of stupid stuff. Like first they lost their stroller, so it took us a while to find that. And then once we finally got to immigration, it took us a while to get through that because Eva just arrived as an immigrant, so she had to go through that process. Actually the whole process probably took like 10 minutes, but it took us, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes waiting in line for our turn. Anyway, we passed through that, so that made us miss our flight to Halifax, and we got a new flight to Halifax, but it's 4 hours later, so now we are waiting here. That's basically it. But all that stuff is probably not that interesting, but how do you feel? And now that you were really waiting for somebody to say, welcome to Canada. She didn't quite say welcome, but she said congratulations.
Congratulations.
You are now a permanent resident of Canada.
I don't feel anything.
You don't feel anything?
I'm so tired. I was dreaming about this moment for so long, and now when it's happening, I was like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Evita, sorry that we are taking you with us through this very busy, I don't know, stuff.
I don't think she minds. She just wants to eat. That's all.
I think it's difficult for her also. I don't know, I'm very happy. I'm so happy to be in Canada. It's my third time in Canada, and I really love this country. And I almost forgot what it's like to see different faces from all over the world, from, I don't know, Ethiopia, India, New Zealand, anywhere. And it's just so nice. I forgot this feeling what I used to have in our round world tour, when you see different people, when you hear different languages. It's so nice, and everybody, like people in general, they're so smiley and they're nice, they're polite, and it just I feel so great being in Canada.
Yeah, people are really nice.
It's hard to, I don't show it because I'm very tired. I need sleep.
I don't know, it's this kind of thing where like everybody's immigration process is different, I think. Like for some people, you know, for example, my uncle, his wife is waiting for her permanent residency, and she is in the Philippines and with their baby that he hasn't met yet. So they've been waiting for like more than half a year, and they're apart the whole time. So of course that's a completely different experience when you've been apart for so long and then you're finally reunited. Or for example, if you have like couples or whole families that are immigrating together, then you know that's a big deal. I've seen many people who immigrated who never even been to Canada before they immigrated, which I think it's definitely interesting, kind of crazy in a way. Brave, yeah, that's a good word. So that's obviously a completely different experience when everybody's in Canada for the first time, for example. But for us, like, it just happened so gradually, and we were together the whole time. So that I don't know. And we've already been to Canada. Like we spent 6 months in Canada like a year and a half ago. So yeah, I don't know. Not that much has changed, but it's kind of cool. Like one of the coolest things is that today starts the clock ticking for Eva to apply for citizenship. So you have to live in Canada for 3 years out of 5 to apply for citizenship, and every day counts. So day 1. I'm not sure this day counts because we're not here the whole day, but anyway. The clock has started ticking, which is very, very cool. And now you can work in Canada. Now you can get health insurance in Nova Scotia. You can get it from day 1. So yeah, it's very exciting. Very, very cool. I'm very looking forward to the time when you have your Canadian passport and we don't have to worry about all this stuff. And hopefully I'll have a Russian one someday.
But
yeah.
wait a minute. It's my first day of permanent resident.
Yeah.
And I need time to get used to this, and then I don't mind being a Canadian citizen.
Well, it's cool because pretty much all rights of a citizen, except you can't vote and you can have a passport. That's about it. So it's very, very cool. Now you are part of a country that very many people want to go to. Yeah. So.
It's a big honor. It's a big honor. I'm very happy to be a part of.
Yeah. So now we wait. I think about 3 more hours, and we fly finally to Halifax, and hopefully somebody will pick us up, and we can go home. One thing that was almost weird for me, like everything when we went to customs, I guess passport control, everything was like about Eva and her immigration. So they didn't really ask me any questions about like where I've been, what I'm doing. Or about the baby. I don't even think they looked at Evita. They just took her passport and that was it. And then they sent us to another like immigration 2 where you have to do like the landing thing where you kind of have to fill out some papers and anyway, and you like officially become admitted as a permanent resident. And I was like, hey, what about me and the baby? We didn't get any stamps or anything. And I totally forgot that in Canada, Canada doesn't stamp the passports of Canadians. So they were like, no, you're fine, you're good. So like, we're already in Canada, no questions to ask. I really don't think that they looked at the baby, right? Yeah. So anyways, that was kind of a funny thing because Russia and some countries, like I know like the European Union doesn't stamp passports of EU citizens and or Schengen zone, I guess would be more specific. And then but for Russia, for example, they stamp everybody. So Eva's passport mostly has Russian stamps in it, probably, because she always goes back to Russia. So anyway, that was sort of a funny moment. We got a poutine. I mean, everything in the airport costs like 15-20 bucks, but this poutine is 12, and I think it's a good option. Very, very tasty, and it's good Canadian food. You like it? We're home! It's kind of dark in here. Well, this is the first time I'm meeting my niece Lucy, and this is the first time the 2 cousins are meeting, but Evita's definitely not in the best mood right now. Funny. Hello. Ooh, hello. Nice.
Yeah.
Seems like the first thing they want to do is wrestle.
My Lucy.
Evita's still pretty sleepy. She got some food, but she needs to sleep tomorrow. Tomorrow she can have a wrestling match.
Want to say hi again?
Interesting. Every time when we push like
Lucy.
this, milk goes out, but not now.
Yeah. Like the first thing Lucy did was just like get on top of her and push on her belly, and Evita's just looking at her like, "What are you doing?" Like, why was
just learning to sit like that, but yeah.
Nice.
So cool.
Pretty cool, right? Hey! What's up, man?
Oh my goodness.
Back from work.
Yeah, I just got back.
Good to see you guys.
Hey, so happy to see you.
So long.
Yes.
I'm especially excited to meet you. Hello. Bonjour, Evita.
This is Uncle Mike.
Cute, cute.
She isn't shocked. All her family was like 3 people. Me, Joy,
And now there's so many people.
grandmother. This is your uncle.
It's just like Dad's beard.
Crazy.
I think Lucy's a little jealous.
Oh?
Ew.
All the attention? Sorry, Yuki.
It's like, wow, how come you can be so big? You're younger than me.
She doesn't know that.
You don't know that. Maybe she does know. Belly flop. Sure is.
He snuck in here somehow. Cool. So cool. Very, very cool.
Little hickers. Oh, no, oh, don't pull in. No pulley hair, boys.
Oh, well back.
Oh, yeah? Whack.
See how you like it.
Yeah, I think the first thing I wanted to do was wrestle. Ah! Say something back, Eva.
She won't understand. It'll be Russian. You can teach each other. One can teach one English, the other can teach.
Headbutt.
She never saw a child, like a kid of her age. She only saw
Evita or Lucy?
Evita.
Yeah.
She saw her mirror, her
Yeah.
Reflection, yeah.
mirror. She doesn't have her mirror yet.
So cousin Evita, huh?
Not bad. Not bad.
No, well, they're going to have loads of fun.
Oh,
Yes. This is the joy, just to watch them roll.
I can't wait. They're gonna be best
Up.
friends.
Oh yeah. Well, I can hardly wait because what'll happen
Yes.
is
Gentle.
Lucy will get on top of
Gentle.
Evita, and then Evita will get on top of Lucy, and Lucy will get on top of Evita, and it's just. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. They'll just be wrestling, and you'll hear screaming, and one will be on top of the other, and they'll get up and wrestle around some more, and one will be on top of the other, and they'll scream.
How it was for you? Like you have so many kids, and each of them was different. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
we just ignored them pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. Tied them on a leash and put them outside.
And we turned out fine.
Yeah, sure you did. Yeah, I'd actually say that that's probably the one of the things to remember. I never was
Look
very
at you
good at
going,
that, but I just had all the children. They were all the same, all the rules, like and I just was clued out at the fact that this guy was different than this guy was different than that girl. It was not. I know that now, of course, but it's good that you know that.
She's just giving you a stare
Each
down.
individual person needs their own.
You found it. Sorry, I didn't answer your message soon enough.
lost for a bit.
How are you? Next, did you have a good flight?
Yeah, but yeah, the flights were fine. It was overall, it was a bit
You don't have to
tiring,
take those off. And how are you?
but- Hey,
Good to see you. Good to see you. So happy to have your baby. I am. Look at this.
Well, you
He
know.
can, but he's not supposed to. What happened?
Oh, it's ruptured my Achilles tendon.
Oh, what were you doing?
Just working.
Oh, what a shame. And how are you? You're visiting. I looked at all the cards and I thought, oh my goodness. Who's here?
I made her
My
dress
goodness,
red.
she's almost as big as she is.
I know, that's what I say.
Here. Maybe I will.
Well,
put
you've
her-
got a hunk of baby. Oh my
And I
goodness,
will
isn't
change
she?
your clothes, okay?
Doesn't she remind you of Jonathan?
Does she?
Oh, she does
I
to me.
can't. Somehow she doesn't, but I can't remember.
When I look at
Like
her
with Jonathan
face,
when he was a
I
baby.
see him. And you had a good trip?
So nice
And
to
the
hug
baby
you.
was good?
Yes, yes. Trip was pretty hard with 3 flights and all that stuff, but yeah, so far it just.
Are you gonna help Evita get changed
I'm
this
so
week?
happy to see you.
She's gonna be a
So
big
happy
one.
to see you.
I can't believe
I know.
He's so big, goodness.
Hi. Hi. How are you? I'm your nan. So what are you, a nan or
I'm
a
Mimi.
A what?
Mimi.
So I can be the nanny.
You can be nanny.
yeah, you can be nanny.
Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, you're gonna change your diaper for her, right?
Yeah, she's in a new diaper. But her
Lucy
clothes
wants to
is
change her
really-
diaper.
wants to-
Oh,
With the kid?
oh my
Last week at church we had
Yes.
Sunday school, and they were talking about man and wife, and what one does, the other one doesn't do, or vice versa.
Oh, that's fine.
And I said, in my case, I hear and my wife smells.
But we're a good team.
Look, you want mommy? Oh, look, you want mommy? Let me see. Look at her.
Who's that old woman?
I thought you might like the pillows.
Yeah.
There. There's a big storm coming. A big storm. Wow.
You better believe it, man.
She's the curious little thing. Boy, you can see she's interested in everything around her. What do you think of having these nieces?
That's so gorgeous.
Isn't it
I
great?
absolutely adore Michael.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I just met Evita, but I wouldn't remember.
This is Grampy. Say hi to Grampy over here. Look at this little guy.
Those are your great grandparents. I told you about them.
This young for
Pat
so
was very
long.
offended that we
Well, my
called her
youngest
great.
grandchild.
Why?
He said, yeah, I got the great one.
Yeah, Max is 18 this month. So that's
I understood the
long.
He don't
like great, like the
he
best.
don't qualify, really.
It's an 18-year gap then, is it? Yeah.
10 little fingers and 10 little toes.
In the box and roll around.
Those will be difficult for Russians
Oh, she has
because
a little
fingers and toes.
bracelet.
Oh,
I don't know, but it's not going to be long before
Oh,
I get her.
wow, so
Because
many
she's,
presents.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
надеюсь,
a
это
big
тоже.
baby.
I have troubles with the fingers and toes because in Russian it's fingers everywhere.
Yeah.
So sometimes I say fingers and John is like, it's not fingers, it's
No,
toes.
it's toe fingers.
Yeah.
Toe fingers.
Your
But
foot
in my
fingers.
mind it's the same.
Well, it's like, they sell chicken fingers and
Yeah.
garlic
Fish
fingers.
fingers.
So you have you have foot fingers.
Garlic fingers.
It probably
the-
has
Foot
a word
fingers.
like digits.
That's
you know.
it. Nothing else.